Hi, welcome to 25 Lessons by 25 in my car. I definitely tried to film this earlier before work and before everything else, but I'll insert some clips of how that went for me because it didn't go very great. So we're gonna try this again. I'm just gonna jump on in. And so, number one for me, Jesus is the most consistent and dependable constant. No one is able to fill his role. And what I mean by that is I have been in situations where all I want to do is run to a friend, have family members be there for me, go on road trips, binge watch Netflix, spend hours on TikTok, but none of those things give you actual satisfaction. Sure, it might distract you, it might give you a moment of peace, but genuinely, Jesus is the only thing that has brought me peace. He has been my true comforter, my best friend, and he knows me best. Number two is starting things gets harder the longer that you wait to start them. Whether it's a business, whether it's working out or eating healthy, creating content, any dream that you have isn't gonna get easier. For me, like, I've pushed out so many things because I want to be more prepared or it's not the right time. Honestly, life isn't gonna slow down and things just aren't gonna get easier. So the later you wait, the harder it's gonna get. You're gonna leave room for doubt and comparison and all these things that you don't need. Number three, small and consistent decisions go a lot further than big and inconsistent decisions. If I decide to wake up 4 hours earlier than I normally do tomorrow, as opposed to just slowly dialing it back like an hour or even a couple hours before, chances are I'm probably not gonna wake up early anymore. Same thing goes for like running. I've started doing that recently, which never ever would have thought that would have been me, but I'm not gonna sign up for a half marathon anytime soon. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back to despising running. So set yourself up for success by doing small, consistent things and let that develop your character and become a part of your lifestyle, as opposed to just trying to change everything too quickly and then being burnt out from it. Number four is that vulnerability is a really hard thing. We all go through really hard seasons. There's people that you think are gonna be there for you that are gonna let you down, or that just might kind of leave you hanging. And they're people too. I don't think that people try to do it to hurt you or anything like that, but instead of shutting down, instead of building walls up and saying I'm never gonna let anyone in again, stay vulnerable. If you have the opportunity, have the hard conversations with your friends, with your family members, with whoever it is that hurt you, and seek restoration in that, because peace comes from that. Let them know, say, hey, I was really disappointed here, I was really hurt here. But also, staying vulnerable allows people that you never would have thought or even talked to be able to step in for you and become a really great friend or a really great mentor or support system for you. Don't become bitter, become better. Number five, try new things, whether that's eating by yourself at a restaurant, taking yourself on a shopping date, going skydiving if you're into that. Personally, I've never ever had that desire and don't think I ever will. None of your friends want to go hiking with you. There's groups, maybe you have a mutual friend you can reach out to, and they know somebody and you can go hiking with them. Just don't be afraid to try new things just because no one in close proximity to you wants to do that thing with you. Don't let that hold you back. Learn how to take care of yourself well. And I'm not talking about just face masks or doing your hair. It starts with the inside and then it reflects on the outside. If something makes you sad, if something makes you angry, ask yourself why. Try to pull that root, learn your triggers, and learn how to prepare yourself for them, because ultimately that's gonna make you know yourself well and love yourself well. Number seven ties into that. So if you don't know how to love yourself well, chances are you're probably not gonna love the people around you well. And that's not always an intentional thing, but if we're so busy carrying trauma or not dealing with things that are hard or have affected us, that's gonna leak into every other area of life. And trust me, I have learned this I've learned this the hard way. Like, why did that make me upset? Instead of ignoring it and throwing myself into work or throwing myself into any other distraction. Like, learn that, prepare yourself, and then love yourself, because you can't give to other people what you don't have yourself. Number 8 is choose to grow through what you're going through. Life can be really painful, but if you don't deal with it, it can be easy to become bitter and jaded, and you don't want that. So instead of just looking for reasons to be upset, like, look for areas where maybe you can strengthen something. Like, for me, that's emotional health, and that's something that I'm working on. Like, instead of just being like, oh my gosh, this sucks, okay, like, this stings, let me figure out why. What would I do for somebody who's walking through this situation? And that way it kind of like shifts your perspective a little bit. Okay, this isn't for nothing, this is making me stronger, I'm gonna come out better on the other side. Next, mindset is everything. So read books, go to therapy, do your research to help yourself, because you don't want to stay in a mental rut. If you do, you're not going to want to do things. Earlier, I tried to film this video. I woke up so early. I did a lot of things to get ready for it, and then it all kind of went to crap when I started filming it. And I had to check my mindset. It didn't work out the way I intended it to, but I had to be like, okay, you know what? We're going to try again. Take a breather. Get some caffeine in you. We're gonna do this again. Just work on noticing where your mind drifts off to. So if your mind is thinking negative, like, catch that thought, evaluate it, and then don't let it dictate the rest of your day. Number 10 is you need different circles. Some people are meant to be close friends that you cry with. Others should push you business-wise for your goals. Some of them might be friends that you go to for game nights or just to laugh. But know your circles of people, so that way whenever you need something, like if you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm sad tonight, I need to go cry, you know who to go to. If you're like, I just want to have fun, you know who to go to. The way that you handle yourself is the way that most people will view and treat you. If you are constantly telling yourself, like, I'm not good enough, I'm insecure, you portray that on yourself, and the people around you are going to also see that, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying you're not going to have insecurities ever again in your life, but that doesn't define you. Number 12, conflict is inevitable. Everyone will deal with conflict, no matter how much you will hate it. Learn how to handle it in a healthy way. It's so hard, especially today, because I feel like a lot of us get defensive quick. We only care about our side, and it hurts when someone's giving you criticism about yourself. They're not always trying to do it to be mean. Some people might, but it's not fun hearing like that action was kind of selfish. Work on not being defensive and work on fighting fair. Conflict is gonna happen, but whether you do it in the right way or the wrong way will determine a lot. You don't have to go out of your way and try to prove anything to anyone. Character is loud, and it will reveal a lot. And the people that know you will know you. Chances are when something happens, they're gonna be like, you know what, that's not like you. If other people start to say things, can you believe that Abby is this, and this? The people that know you will know you, and they'll be like, you know what, that's not true. And if someone is going on and saying a bunch of things about you that are not true, yes, it's gonna hurt, but those aren't people that you need to be close to anyway. Again, like, do your part and do your best to have a good character and a good standing with those around you, but also you cannot please everybody in this world, and you won't, no matter how hard you try. Someone said, if you strive for people's acceptance, you're gonna die of their rejection, because there's always gonna be somebody who disagrees with you. So work on your character and let the people that know you be the people that are like the closest to you. 14 is a hard one, but a necessary one. It's be humble. Own your mistake and face the mirror, like, even if it stings. It's not fun to be like, you know what, like, I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have done this, it was so wrong. But rather than like avoiding it or being like, oh, I hope that we just never talk about it again, like, own your mistakes. Being humble will get you so much further in life than being prideful. And that's something that I'm learning too. These are just lessons that I'm learning, not things that I've mastered. I know it feels good, but you'll feel more at ease the less time that you spend on TV or on social media or scrolling through doomsday things. It's not bad to relax. Spending so much time on these things, it makes me feel unproductive. It makes me compare myself to people's highlight reels and the lives that they're living, and it doesn't make me feel good. Just start to watch how much time you give to these things, and don't let your whole day or don't let your life go by spending time watching people live their lives or watching TV. Next Next, make your to-do lists more realistic. There is nothing good about feeling overwhelmed every single day because it kills motivation. And I have a friend who used to call me out all the time on my to-do list because they would literally be 20 to 30 things, and she's like, you are burning yourself out. Make to-do lists, just make them realistic. Don't overwhelm yourself. Number 17 is have healthy boundaries. Don't overcommit to things. So it kind of ties into the last one. One time I said yes to 3 parties in one day. That was a lot for me. Some of y'all might be able to handle that. That's amazing. But for me, that was overcommitting to the max. And I had to go get gifts for every single one of these things. I had to bake a cake. Like, it was just a lot. So easy to say yes to a lot of things, but really think about it and be like, you know what? Can I commit to this or shouldn't I? Because you want to show up as your best self and you want to show up ready to give 100%. Number 18 also ties into it. It's let your yes be yes and your no be no. This is a Bible verse, but it applies to literally everything. If you say you're going to do something, be a person of your word and go do it. Tell someone, hey, you know what? I promise I'm going to show up for you and do this thing, and then you don't. That's going to be so disappointing. And people, that's when the word like flaky and stuff like that comes in. But be someone who people can count on to know that when you say yes, you mean it, and when you say no, you mean it. Watch how often you break your budget and splurge. I feel like I should not be talking about this one, to be honest. It's easy to be like, you know what, I've had a hard day. I deserve this and blah, 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 blah. Fit that into your budget. Put it into your budget, put a line in your budget, and then just put a certain amount in there. And then if that's gone, like it's gone. Ultimately, we want to be financially wise. Be mindful. There's always going to be someone to compare yourself to. It's not worth it. There's always going to be someone who is younger and did it first, someone who is more rich and has more followers and has done it longer, so there's no point in you doing it. There's never going to be a perfect or a right time for you to start something. So just start it. Have people that you admire and look up to, but don't beat yourself up for not being them, because chances are they've been where you're at and they just kept going. So keep going. 21, stop being in such a rush. Whether you're driving, whether you're on a walk, you miss so much around you, and your safety should be your number one priority. Don't go on a walk just because it's on your to-do list. Like, look around. Whatever you're in, just try to be in the moment instead of just being in a hurry to get to the next thing, because you only have one life. So enjoy it. Don't worry about what people around you are doing or if they agree with you. Just keep your head down and keep doing it. If you know your goals and dreams, don't let other people's opinions make you shy away from them. That's happened to me several times, and I wish that I would have just kept my head down and kept going. 23, your health is the most important thing. Your health should be a priority. As a human, you are part emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual. Take care and nurture every single part of you, whether it's therapy, eating healthy, getting a gym membership, reading a book, listening to a podcast. You are more than just physical. So take care of every single part of yourself, because all of that is what contributes to you as a person. 24 is to think for yourself. Yes, it's incredibly important to get advice and wisdom from people that you look up to or people that are around you, but also you're your own person and you're allowed to have your own thoughts. Do your research, but the purpose should be for you to think through your own thoughts and decisions and be like, you know what, this is where I stand as a person. This is where I stand as Abby. This is what I believe in, and this is how I'm gonna operate. And the last one is to only focus on things that you can control. There are so many things that can't be controlled in this life, and it's not worth focusing on these things because it's just gonna cause you stress and anxiety. That is not what we were created for. Try to live in peace and not to spiral, because there's a lot of things you can't control. It's going to make you tired. It's going to make you hate everyone around you. It's going to make you feel confused about so many things. And so focusing on what you can control is a lot better than focusing on the things you can't control. That's it. I'm grateful you're here, and I hope that whether you're older or younger, that this blesses you, that this helps you. It's never too late or too early to start a lesson. All I have. Love you. Bye. More, nothing less. In Jesus' name. Also, don't let any of these ants get me, please. Amen. And that's another way to love yourself well, is what to handle them. This is good. Here's a freebie. When it feels like every single interruption, keep going. You're fine. It's fine. What is that? Number 7 ties into number 6. People around you, it's going to be a lot easier to build wall jaded. Oh, what was that? Oh. I don't know what's happening. The one angle, what's happening? I'm feeling defeated. That's how I'm feeling. I don't know what's happening. We had to move. This is fine. Ouch. And now ants are getting to me. Okay. This is where the angle has changed a few times, and I'm sorry. Lesson 8. Choose to grow through what you're... Okay, I'm done for now.